Belstaff makes some fantastic touring and adventure clothing, and this is another great example of that. Obviously, we know them so very well from their wax cotton offerings and their leather jackets as well, but they have a whole host of textile clothing at the same time. If you've seen The Long Way Up, then you'll know how reliable and enduring that clothing can be. And if, like me, you don't necessarily get to pick and choose your days or the riding weather that you're actually out in, then you'll want something nice and reliable, something you can fall back on that's a riding companion to make you much, much more comfortable for the longest time. The Parkway that we have here is a further example of that. And let me start by saying it is £650, which I think for this kind of jacket, for the features that it offers and for the brands that it's got attached to it, I think that's a very good price. And what I mean by that is that this has a Gore-Tex liner. It has D3O Armour as well. When you start adding on brand names like that, obviously the price starts to climb. What also starts to increase for me is my trust in the clothing itself. Now, whenever I see the name Gore-Tex attached to any waterproof clothing that I might have, it really does improve my faith. Because they don't just throw that label out willy-nilly, it goes through some very strict quality testing to get that name attached. So first and foremost, it is a waterproof, mid-length, adventure style jacket. It's also got some really decent armor. So I mentioned D3O as well. Not only does it have D3O, it's level 2 armor, which traditionally you might find in the back armor with a bigger touring style of jacket like this, but it's also included in the arms as well. So you've got level 2 armor in your elbows, your shoulders, and your back protector. That's nice and thick. Not too obvious from the outside, but obviously most importantly, it's going to be safer than level 1. Being D3O, of course, it's still flexible, it's still breathable, so it's still comfortable at the same time. They've also achieved CE level AA with this jacket, which is nice to see. I would probably expect that from something like this anyway, but it's still reassuring to have that. And the fabric you'll see from the outside, as I mentioned, it isn't their wax cotton, it isn't a leather jacket either, it's textile. We've got Cordura fabric for this, it's 750 denier. It is obviously lovely and tough, nice and abrasion resistant, but still flexible, still comfortable. You've also got ripstop on your shoulders and your elbows. You can see by the difference in the pattern on the fabric, but that's nice and tough as well. If you look around the jacket, you'll see a few other features on top of that. So you've got some reflective material. You'll see it most prominently on the Belstaff logos, but you've got little strips here and there to make you more visible. You've got waterproof zips on the vents, and when I say vents, arguably this jacket, to look at it, you wouldn't think is good for warmer weather. And I'd say you're possibly right. Obviously it's slightly thicker, but the amount of vents you've got across this will allow a lot of airflow. So it is still going to be nice and breathable at the end of the day. And those vents are waterproof. You can tell by the waterproof zips they've got on them. I'm not going to stand here and count all of them. There are many, but it is nice and breathable. You've also got more than enough storage across this. You've got a couple of pockets on the outside. You've actually got 4 on the inside as well. So a few different options if you require. You've got some adjustability around your waist. So you've got this strap that's really easy to pull tight and obviously make it more secure, make it a more snug fit. You've got adjusters all the way down your arm there and around your wrist. You've got a zip on the inside if you do want to attach it to a pair of trousers, and it has a drop back to it, so it's going to come neatly over your belt line and over your trousers as well. The Belstaff embossed snaps have a rubbery texture to them, so they're going to be kinder on paintwork. And then the neckline, you've got this neoprene liner or section across it, so it's very comfortable around your neck. It's not going to rub or be uncomfortable, and you can pull that back and fasten it there so it's not flapping around if you do want to open it up and allow a bit more airflow again. It is a mid-length jacket. That's going to be great in colder temperatures. It's slightly on the longer side. It's a pretty normal fit, and actually a lot of their textile jackets, I would say, don't really do themselves justice in the photography. I think this is another great example of something that looks much better when it's on, and it's a really nice fit actually. It's nice that it surprised me. I do think it's underselling itself from the pictures. For my own personal size, my own experience, I'm a 38-inch chest. That will put me in a small on this one. Obviously, we've got that size guide on the website if you want to check that out, but we keep it up to date. We do keep updating it if we find out anything new. As you'll know by now, I'll leave the links in the description if you want to check this out for yourself. Drop your questions and comments as you do normally, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.